poachers.
Stupid. Just for the killing. Not for food, not for anything. Just for the stupid, senseless killing.
We haven't had trouble with poachers in a long time. I wonder where these came from.
No, it's just one. See? So it's just one horse.
Yeah.
Bill, you go back and join Adam and Horse, will you? I'm gonna follow these tracks for a spell.
Look, maybe I better go with you. This fella seems pretty free with a gun.
Oh, you got a lot of work to do. Your brothers will need your help. Besides, any man do a thing like this isn't any backbone anyway. You get along, Joseph.
Sure you don't want me to go with you?
I'll be all right.
You watch yourself, Bob.
Yeah. You in there! Come on out! I'm Ben Cartwright. You've been poaching on my land. Now come on out! Want some?
No, all I want to do is get home.
How far did you say that was from Sacramento?
When I left, it was 48 miles. I don't figure it's moved none in the last 5 years.
It's a cinch you ain't. When you get to that way station tomorrow, you can fork off to Dry Bluff. Shouldn't take you more than a day to get there.
Look, Gannon, you got us this far. That's enough. I don't need no more organizing.
Hey, come on out of it. You'll be home tomorrow.
Yeah, what kind of problem you got? You're gone 3 lousy years. What can happen to a farm?
Yeah, look at me. Had a wife, a store, a good business. Now I lost 5 years out of my life. Anybody out there?
Been shot. Guy riding him must have been shot, too.
We better get out of here.
Why should we run? We ain't done nothing.
Well, maybe not. But you still got the smell of Huntsville prison on you. We all have. It's in that suit of clothes they gave you. When they start asking questions, the finger's gonna end up pointing right here.
I've heard that. Once you've served time, they don't let you forget it.
Now, it ain't gonna be like that. Not where I come from.
Well, you can stay if you want to. I'm getting out of here. Not that I got anything to hide.
Yeah, how do we know that? You was out hunting by yourself all afternoon.
Well, so were you. And you come back with game.
We all did.
Yeah, we're all in this together. So let's get out of here. We'll keep the horse. That way we'll get a little extra time in case they come looking for it.
Well, he's lame. Only thing he's gonna do is hold us up.
Well, all right. All right, let him go, but hurry up about it. Come on, Paige, come on.
Stinking prison.
What in the world's this?
Well, I went out looking for some poachers this afternoon. We were worried about him when his horse came limping in with the saddle on.
We rode back out to Oak Draw where Joe saw our Paul the last time. Found a campfire there. It looked like 2 or 3 men had been around. Found some of Paul's horse tracks there, but we didn't see no sign of our Paul.
We should have tried looking for him right away.
Joe, you can't track men in the dark. You know that. We'd have just been fumbling around out there.
Now, boys, what makes you so sure your Paul's dead?
Roy, that's my pa's blood on that saddle. He was killed by some stinking lousy poacher.
Just a minute.
We found this in some ashes around the campfire. That's for prison.
That's right. Roy, if my pa found men like that, convicts, poachers, they wouldn't think any more about killing him than they would shooting a deer.
I believe you're right. Boys, here's what we're going to do. First off, I'm going to wear Huntsville. I'll find out if there's any prisoners been released or escaped from there lately. Then I'm going to get a posse. And I'm going to start looking for your pa. Now, I know it ain't going to be easy to get a posse together this time of night. But I'll get some. Believe me that. You boys can wait here.
No, Roy, we're not going to do any waiting. We're going back to the campsite. It'll be dawn by the time we get there, and we can start tracking.
Now, you just hold on. That's all right if you want to go looking for him. But if you find him, remember, that's a case for the law. You remember that.
Just get your posse together.
Howdy.
Howdy. Our name's Cartwright. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
No, but I don't answer no questions.
This is important, old man.
Look, I just mind my relay horses and mind my own business, and that's all.
Now, look, I said we want to talk to you, old man.
Now, look, you go fry a fish. I'm not scared of you.
Now, wait a minute, Mr. What's your name?
Pete's my name.
Pete. We've been riding all night. We're kind of tired. My younger brother here's a little tireder and a little touchier than the rest of us, so... What he's trying to say is that we want to buy some information.
Oh, well, that makes a mite of difference. You know, gee, this must have been my lucky day. You know, early this morning, 3 other fellas came in here, and they gave me $1, too.
Other fellas? What fellas?
Well, they rode in about dawn, and they gave me $1 to fix them up with some coffee and some beans.
Well, that's what we want to know. Now, was there another man with him, an older man with gray hair?
Nope, they were just young fellas, and they were in an awful hurry.
How many of them were there?
3 young fellas, all hungry and all in a hurry.
What'd they look like?
Well, I don't know. You see, last week I broke my glasses, so I couldn't tell you what they looked like.
What else do you know, aside from the fact that they were young?
Let me see. Yeah, there was one. There was one they called Page. And then there was another fella, and he didn't have a coat.
What else?
Well, while they were eating their victuals, I took the horses down to the water trough to water them. And I noticed there was a rifle on one of the saddles, all covered in oilskin. I took a look at it, and it sure was a mighty fine rifle.
They had a letter C on it.
Yeah, it sure did. In silver. Does that mean something?
Yes, it does. Now, do you remember which one of them had the gun?
No. 3 men got on 3 horses and rode away. That's all.
Which way?
Oh, let me see. They went every which way.
Give us a straight answer, will you, please?
I gave you a straight answer. They all went in different directions. One fellow went up the mountain towards Kobe. Another one went west and another went south. That's what I meant. They went every which way.
All right. This is where we split up.
Fella, what have they done?
They killed our pa.
They killed your pa? Well, if I'd known that, I never would have took nothing from them. Not a cent.
Now, which one do you want, Joe?
Take the one that went up to Kobe.
I'll head south.
You're gonna kill him? You're gonna kill him like they killed your pa?
Let's go.
Now, you're gonna be all right, mister. You got Jacob J. Dorman's word on it.
Where am I?
Right now, you're recovering from 2 bullet wounds. Now, that one knocked you out long enough for me to get the one out of your shoulder. Yeah, I'm glad you came, too. I was hoping for some company. We still got 20 miles to Carson City.
Carson City.
Easy. I was due there day before yesterday. You cost me almost a whole day. I found you just off the trail. I couldn't leave you to bleed to death, and I was too far behind schedule to take you all the way back to Virginia City.
I gotta get back.
Are you in trouble with the law?
No. I gotta get back to my ranch. Just outside of Virginia City. Ponderosa.
Oh, the Ponderosa. Yeah, I think I heard of that. Do you think you can get to the wagon? All right, just take it easy. Move slowly. Slowly, that's it. Slowly, there. Now, don't rush it.
I'm all right.
I got a friend in Carson City, a very good doctor. It might be smart to stop in and see him.
Yeah, it's too far. I gotta get back to my ranch, the Ponderosa. I'm Ben Cartwright.
Well, once we get to Carson City, I'm sure you'll be
It's
able
too far. My family will be worried. Oh. I gotta get back to them.
I don't know. Carson City's always been a big stop for me.
Whatever it is, I'll pay you.
Well, I might lose as much as $70 or $80.
Mr. Dorman, why don't you say you might lose as much as $100 even?
Let's just say that. What's your family gonna think? You must have been gone 2 days now.
Did you say 2 days?
That's right. I tell you, it's been a job tending you. Getting you to swallow water.
You must be out of their minds with worry. You probably think I'm dead.
Maybe they're out looking for whoever it is who shot you.
Yeah. No, those boys of mine, they're intelligent men. They're grown men, intelligent. They wouldn't do anything rash. That oldest boy of mine, Adam, oh, he's real calm in an emergency. Real calm.
All right, let's try it again.
I told you, mister, I don't know nothing. I just said if there was some money in it, I might be able to get a hold of some of it.
Well, I've got a hold of you, and that's all I need. Now, we'll try it once more. He should have come through here sometime yesterday. He came from Huntsville Prison.
Heavy set fella? 33, maybe? 34?
All I know is he's one of 3 men. His name might be Page, and he might be carrying a rifle with an inlaid stock.
How bad you want to know? Dollars and cents, I mean.
Save your money, mister. He can't tell you anything.
Is that right?
Yeah. Sure. Just trying to pick up a couple extra bucks.
Now, if you want to know anything, try me, mister. I get around town pretty good. And there's no charge. My name's Jeannie. Here. Compliments of the house. This man you're looking for. You said he came from Huntsville Prison? I suppose you're here to take him back.
No, I won't be taking him back.
Oh? Well, I think I know the man. He used to work here. He was in town the other day asking for his old job.
Where is he now?
They didn't have anything for him. But I slipped him a few dollars, and he said he was off for San Francisco.
San Francisco, huh?
That's right. He left yesterday.
Thank you for the information.
Well, aren't you going to use it?
There's plenty of time. I think I'd like to eat first.
Well, I have some errands to do. If you're still here when I get back, maybe you'll buy me a drink.
I consider that a pleasure, ma'am.
Honey, just look at this yardage. All the way from Kansas City. Oh, you did a much better job of choosing it than I could have.
5 years wasn't enough, was it? You in that prison, and me waiting in that saloon.
What are you talking about?
There's a man in the bar looking for you. You did pull something on the way here, didn't you?
Honey, I swear to you.
Didn't you?
Well, there was this incident on the trail. It didn't amount to anything. I meant to tell you about it.
Why don't you tell me about it?
Who are you? What do you want? Tell you I didn't do anything.
Just tell me about it.
Well, there was 3 of us, and we were taking a shortcut across this ranch.
The Ponderosa.
Yeah, that was it. But we were just passing through. And that night, this horse came wandering into our camp. He had blood in his saddle. We got scared and we ran. Now, look, mister, I don't know what the rest of them did, but I didn't do anything. I swear to you.
You knew a man was hurt, and yet you didn't go looking for him, huh?
Well, we were scared. We just got out of prison. Now, who was going to believe us? Now, look, I know maybe we did the wrong thing running like that, but... Well, I didn't know who this fellow was, riding out there at night.
That was my father. He found you poaching. You shot him. You stole his rifle. We traced his horse back to your campfire.
No, you can't prove that. You can't prove any of that. You're just trying to shake me down for money. That's what it is, honey. You run on down and get the sheriff.
You almost did it, didn't you?
No, look, mister, I was out of my mind for a minute. 5 years in prison. Just the chance of going back. Jeannie, tell him I wouldn't do anything like that.
I'm not interested in your character references.
No, please. I lost my head. I grabbed the gun.
Like maybe that was the way it happened that night, huh?
No.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll wait for you outside. You gotta come out sooner or later. And when you do, bring this with you.
Mister! Please. Now, think for a minute. Look, you think I killed your daddy and stole his gun. Now, why would I do a thing like that? What would I gain by it? Look, I got everything I want right here. I got a wife, waited and worked for me for 5 years. We're starting fresh. Now, why would I want to shoot him? For a gun?
Yes, it must be a fine thing to be blessed by the Lord with 3 strong sons. Fine thing indeed. 3 strong lads could be quite a comfort to a man.
Yep. Quite a responsibility, too. Could you, get your horse to manage a livelier gait? I don't want my sons to worry more than they have to. Get up!
I thought you said that oldest boy of yours would be able to handle it. Being so smart and all.
Oh, he'll handle it all right. But father worries, and nevertheless, you tend to see in your children only what you hope you'll see, I guess. No, I don't think Adam could do anything without giving it some real deep thought. Any more than Hoss could do anything without giving it some real deep feeling.
Hoss?
Yeah, my middle boy.
Hoss, eh? Strong back, I bet you, but kind of slow. Hmm?
Yeah, he's strong. But if by slow you mean slow to anger, slow to condemn, or slow to hurt living things, yeah, I guess you might say he was slow.
Doing here? Who are you?
I'm looking for a man named Page. Some folks told me you owned this place.
That's right. That's my pa you're talking about.
Your pa? Look, has your pa been off on a long trip? Just got back?
Yep. 3 years he's been away. That's why the farm looks so run down. But me and Pa, we'll have a neater and a pin soon.
Yeah. Where's your pa now?
He's working the field. What do you want to know for? You a friend of his?
Let's just say I know your pa.
Why do you say so? Where were you stationed with him?
Stationed?
Yeah. I bet it was Fort Pierce, when he was in the artillery. You're too big to be in the cavalry. He was in that, too, you know.
No, I didn't know.
My pa was away in the army for 3 years. My uncle read me all his letters, though. So if you was at Fort Pierce with him, I'd know all about you.
Yeah, well, maybe he just forgot to mention me or something.
No, he wouldn't have. He never forgot nothing. There was a Corporal Jackson at Fort Pierce. Pa said he's pretty fat.
Look, ain't you got someplace you're supposed to be, boy?
Danny Page.
Hoss Cartwright.
I don't know. Has Pa ever mentioned that name?
Look, I knew your pa, and that's all there is to it now. Why don't you run along and pester somebody else, huh?
Sure. You staying for supper?
No. No, I ain't.
How come you ain't staying for supper?
Look, ain't you got nobody else you can go pester?
I told you my pa's out in the field somewheres. My uncle's in town. My ma's off on a trip.
Your ma? When's your ma gonna be back?
I don't know. She left a long time ago, just before Pa went off to the army.
I see.
I stayed with my uncle while my pa was in the army. I asked him about it, but he said I wouldn't understand. But I understood all right.
You did?
Sure. Ma borrowed some money from Pa so she can go on a trip with a friend of hers from town. I think his name was Harry, but I don't remember too good. Anyways, Pa went after him to make sure they got off all right. And then he came back and went into the army. I never exactly figured out why. I guess it must have been to make some more money.
Yeah, I reckon that was it.
Hey, I think my pa's coming.
God. Hello, son.
Hi, Pa. A friend of yours in the army come to see you. He says his name is Hoss. Cartwright.
Can I help you?
Get the boy out of here.
What?
I said get rid of the boy.
What are you talking about?
Look, I don't want to hurt the boy. Now get rid of him.
Go in the barn, Danny.
But, Pa!
You're here. Do like I tell you. Hurry up now. Now, what's all this about?
I'm after the man that killed my father.
I don't know what you're talking about. What's that got to do with me?
2 days ago, you and 2 other fellas from Huntsville Prison rode across our ranch. My pa caught you poaching and you shot him.
You got no proof of that.
I got all the proof I need. Now you're gonna pay for it.
But please, mister, I ain't never killed nobody.
Sure you ain't. That's the reason you spent 3 years in the penitentiary, ain't it? Because you ain't killed nobody. You killed your wife, didn't you?
You don't understand. She deserved to die.
You decided that, didn't you? Just like you decided that my pa deserved to die.
No. I spent my time for that. I ain't never gonna kill again.
Is that why you carry that gun?
Man fresh out of prison, why, he's got to be careful. People blame him for things.
Yep, that's right. Just like I'm doing right now. You better get ready to use that gun.
Now you saw my son. He's been waiting 3 years for me. What's he gonna do without a paw?
I don't know. I ain't got used to the idea myself yet. Now you get ready.
Ben, there just wasn't any other explanation. What with you missing and the horse coming back and the blood and all? Me and the posse's just scoured about every foot of that entire section looking for you.
All right, Roy. Now, where are the boys?
Have yourself the coffee, Mr. Dolan. Ben, they figured that you was dry gulched, that you was dead, and they went after the three fellas that they figured that was responsible for... Ben, I just never seen them boys like that.
When'd they leave?
It was the night before last. In fact, I just got this telegram here from Huntsville Prison, gave me the names of the three men that had been released. Now, I wired the sheriffs closest to them, hoping that they'd get there in time.
Well, you know my boys better than that.
Yeah, I do. And I also know that they figured that their father had been murdered. Here, take this coffee. I'm going over and get the doc. Be good for you.
I don't know. If it was me, I'd feel pretty good knowing I had three boys ready to kill anyone who did me in.
No. They've been taught the exact opposite.
Then why are you worried?
I don't know, why does any father worry? It's like when you plant seeds blind. You don't know whether they're gonna grow and keep growing long after you're past knowing and gone.
From what you tell me about your two oldest boys, it don't seem likely they're too apt to go against what they've been taught. You, didn't tell me much about your third boy.
I don't know how much I know about that third boy of mine. He's quick-tempered. Sometimes I see an anger in him that... Three wives, 3 sons, all of them so different.
So you got doubts about what he'll do?
No. No, I guess I got doubts about me. About whether I was able to make him understand.
I'm looking for a man. Would have ridden in the last few days from the south. Come on, all I want's an answer to my question.
I couldn't tell you, mister.
Probably be without a jacket. Might be carrying a fancy rifle with a silver C on the stock. Does that help any?
I don't know. I'll tell you when to leave.
Leave him alone. He can't help you.
All right, then maybe you can help me, mister.
For heaven's sakes, none of us can help you, I tell you.
Take what you want, but leave us in peace.
Everybody's here like you asked, mister. Bartender, give me a pen and a piece of paper.
Now, look, we've been here all afternoon. Nobody's gonna tell you nothing.
My name's Joseph Cartwright. I'm writing a promissory note in the amount of $5,000. This note will be good in any bank in Virginia City. You all know the information that I'm after. The man who gives me that information will receive this money. All right, here it is. $5,000. Now, one of you is going to tell me what I want to know. You all know that. And when he does, he gets this. Every single penny of it. Just don't wait too long. I'll be outside.
Is that him?
That's the man, Colonel. We told him nothing, Colonel. He even tried to bribe us, but we told him nothing, Colonel.
Let him go. I'm Colonel Abel Chapin. These are Chapin men, and that's Chapin dirt you're eating. Who are you and what do you want?
I've been looking for him.
What do you want with him?
I want to kill him.
You know him? Don't lie to me, Billy.
I swear to you, Pa, I never seen him.
All right. What do you claim he did?
He killed my father. That's my father's rifle he's got with him.
It's like I told you, Pa. I bought this from one of them fellas I come back with. What call I got to steal a rifle?
I don't know, Billy. I stopped trying to give reasons for the things you've done a long time ago.
Pa, I swear to God.
If you're lying, don't make it worse by blaspheming. I'm gonna let you go.
Pa.
Shut up. I'm letting you go, but come back here and you're a dead man. Come dawn, you look around. As far as your eye can see, I'm the law. Judge, jury, and hangman. Remember that. And consider yourself lucky. Take him off the ranch and turn him loose. You're no better than to bring his lies back here again.
So, Pa, you give me a chance at him. I'll make sure you don't ever come back.
No, stay away from him. You're protected here. Alone away from the ranch, you wouldn't have a chance against a man like that. You wouldn't even understand him.
All right, let him go. All right, I'll handle it now. You're going back to the ranch.
But the colonel said to let
I
him...
said get out!
If anything should happen to him.
Ain't nothing gonna happen to him unless he tries to escape. Now get out! Go on, move. You hear this Billy Chapin talking? Now move! Now I'm gonna do what my pa's afraid to do.
He's here. He's gonna be all right.
Paul. Paul, doggone it. I thought you was gone for sure.
No.
What happened?
Oh, some fella took a couple of shots at me. Couldn't see who it was, though.
A feller? You mean there's only one of them?
Yeah, just the one fella. Just the one. Mr. Dorman here, he found me lying on the trail. And picked me up and took me along with him, and before I come to, I was on my way to Carson City.
How are you, sir?
Your brother just told us what happened to him. How about you?
I found my man. But I couldn't go through with it. What he said to me made sense. I couldn't get it out of my mind. Couldn't do it.
What'd you do with him?
I left him with the sheriff there, holding him for an investigation.
Us?
Well, pretty generally the same thing happened to me, Paul. I found my man. He had a little son, cute little fella. I just didn't have the stomach to go through with it. I don't reckon that makes a whole lot of sense.
Oh, you know, it makes a lot of sense, son.
In my business, a man can count himself lucky if he's 2/3 successful.
Little Joe ain't back.
You boys have been riding quite a bit. Why don't you get up to bed and rest up?
Well, Doc said you ought to get some sleep, too, you know, and don't worry about Joe.
He's hot-tempered, but he's still one of your sons, Paul. Why don't we all go to bed?
Look, even if Joe did find his man, and he did kill him, he did it believing that that man had killed you.
An eye for an eye. Is that what you boys have been taught to believe?
Not what I'm trying to say.
I know what you're trying to say, Adam, and I thank you for it. This is not something that little Joe has to think out. He either believes it in his heart or...
Hey. I heard something.
You've been hearing something all night.
No, but this is for real.
Sheriff Coffey told me you were all right. I was afraid to believe it. How do you feel?
Fine, boy. Fine.
See, you got Paul's rifle.
So you found your man.
Yeah, I found him.
Joe?
No, Pa, I didn't kill him. Nobody deserved killing like he did, but I couldn't do it. Had your rifle pointed at him, had my finger on the trigger, but I just couldn't pull it. Maybe it was because it was your rifle. Took him to his father. He confessed. Sheriff Coffey's gonna go out and pick him up sometime tomorrow.
You look tired.
Dorman?
I haven't paid you what I owe you.
I kind of lied to you about Carson City. Never was much of a stop for me. Never done more than $4 worth of business there in my life.
Even so, Mr. Dorman, I feel I owe you a great deal.
I've been paid.
I hope you'll come by to visit next time you pass this way.
I'll make a point of it. You're a very lucky man, Mr. Cartwright.
Thank you.
Hopsing gets through breading and frying you, you're going to be so good it ought to be against the law to eat you. And now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get your granddaddy. The only reason he ain't been caught yet is because I ain't been after him. But I am now. And then, he's going to join you at my dinner table tonight. Hey, wait a minute! Wait a minute, the bear's going, Hey, come here! Wait a minute! Hey, little fella! Hey, little fella, come on out! The bear's gone! Hey! Little fella, is this strong box yours? Now, I know you can hear me. You couldn't have got that far away. You better come on out here and claim it right now. I'm going to open it. come he wouldn't claim it? Must be stolen. Boy, wait till Paul hears about this. Oh. This ain't gonna be easy to explain. None of it. Now, you ain't gonna believe this, Paul. Funniest thing happened to me today down at the fishing hole. Yeah, you're probably wondering where I got this box of gold, huh, Paul? Well, you see, there was this little green elf. Green elf.
We heard you shouting. What happened? I was depositing the gold dust. Before I finished burying it, a bear got after me. Then a giant ran down and chased the bear away. A giant? Biggest man I ever saw in my life. And he found a strong box and walked off with it. That's what happened. Honest. Ah, you don't believe me.
I knew you weren't going to believe me.
Well, it doesn't make sense, Hoss. Look, if he was as little as you say he was, now how can he go around lugging a strong box full of gold? This thing is a load for any one of us.
Let's look at it this way. If there is a little man running around...
If, Paul. If is all I've been hearing. There ain't no if to it, Paul. I seen him with my own two eyeballs. A little man no bigger than that. I seen him.
Right. A little man in a green suit that buried a strong box full of gold dust and then skips away into the bushes where, with a merry twinkle in his eye, he thumbs his nose and flies away to the rainbow.
I've had all I'm going to take out of you, Adam. Paul, how come nobody will believe me? I'm just telling you exactly what I seen, and if it sounds sort of crazy or something, it ain't my fault.
Of course it isn't. Look, what he says must make some sense because there it is. It's a strong box. It's real. It contains thousands of dollars worth of gold. Must have come from somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, and I imagine somebody's pretty anxious to get it back.
Well, we can stand around here talking about it all night. Tell you what, tomorrow morning we'll ride in and see Sheriff Coffey and tell him the whole story. Maybe he can help us.
You're not going to let him tell that story in town.
Oh, no, Papa, you can't do that. They're going to laugh at us. They're going to think he's loony.
We're going to try to get to the bottom of this. Now, Hoss will tell Sheriff Coffey the whole thing, exactly the way he saw it.
Hey, who's down there? Hey, wait a minute! Hey, you little rascals, wait a minute! Hey, come back here! Wait a minute, come back here! Whole bunch of them little green fellers, boy, just like the one I saw out in the woods. That little horses, nothing bigger than good-sized hound dog.
Oh, he's really hurt himself this time.
Boy, I gotta catch him, little rascal.
Of course you'll catch him. You'll catch him.
Well, we could if we'd hurry.
But, all right, just calm down. Adam, little Joe, go outside and look around.
What are we going to look around for, Pa? I got to have something to look around.
You heard what he said. We look for little green men riding on hound dogs. Now, I'll go out and check around the house, and you look for a butterfly net just in case.
Right, butterfly net. What?
Oh, you got a good lump coming up here. Come. I better get something to put on it.
Hey, Paul, look.
Somebody broke into the bookcase. Strong box, it's gone.
That's what I was afraid they'd do. Hey, who? The little green men, Paul, the little green men. Now what am I going to tell the sheriff? The only part of my story you believe in the first place is the part about the gold, and only then because I had that box to prove it. Now what am I going to tell him?
Well, you tell him... Tell him the truth.
And you say that Adam and little Joe couldn't find a trail, huh?
Well, it was, of course, it was dark, and they had a pretty good head start on the boys.
Look, Roy, you see, these little fellers, they got a way about themselves. They just disappearing in thin air.
Well, now, maybe them little fellers' little horses was flying horses, and that's why you couldn't find the
Now,
trail.
look, Roy, we came here to report a robbery. If you're not going to take us serious, we'll go home. That's all.
Hold on. If anybody but Ben Cartwright come in here with a story like that, why, what do you want me to do, Ben?
The gold. Just see that it's recovered, that's all.
Look, religiously, I go through everything that comes into this office. And there's been no bank robberies, no stagecoach holdups, no gold shipments missing anywhere. So why in the dickens should I go out there hunting for something that ain't even been reported missing?
But, Roy, that's just the point. We're reporting it missing.
Well, you can't claim something stolen that don't even belong to you.
Well, wait a minute, Roy. Somebody broke into my house. Somebody broke into my bookcase. Now, surely that's enough for you to go on.
I'm just not going to close up this office and go out there looking for a gang of little... Now, what would the folks of this town think if I was to try to organize a posse for the purpose of tracking down a bunch of little men with green suits? Why, they'd hog-tie me and lock me up in my own jail cell till election time. Well, gentlemen, I got places to go. I got to meet the stagecoach.
He didn't believe a word of it, did he?
Well, it's not a question of believing, son. It's...
Don't make no never mind, Paul. If somebody came to me with a story like that, I'd be at least interested in it enough to look into it.
Yeah, well, listen, while I'm in town, I think I'd better go and pay that grain bill.
I think I'll go to the saloon and get me a beer.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. And I'll pick you up there as soon as I'm ready to go.
Charlie, stage on time today?
Ahead of time. Done come and went.
Yeah. Anybody get off?
Just one feller. You looking for somebody in particular, Roy?
No, I was just keeping tabs on the goings and comings. Where does fella go?
Yonder to saloon.
Yeah, much obliged.
Well, like I said before, he's right down the street. You saved yourself a trip. Here he is now.
Oh, well, hello. Pleasure to meet you, sir. McCarthy's the name. Professor James Aloysius McCarthy. I assume that you're the bulwark of local law enforcement?
I'm the sheriff, if that's what you're talking about.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I think perhaps maybe you can help me. I was wondering if you'd noticed any strangers passing through this fair city of yours of late.
No, there hasn't been a stranger in this town in a month of Sundays.
Oh.
Unless, of course, they was little men with green suits.
Little men in green suits?
How about that, Hoss? More like little thieves in green suits. Hoss here claims that they run off with a strong box full of gold.
Gold? Hoss, did you fellas make a strike?
Hold on now, you fellas. You had this whole town in a stampede. I didn't say nothing about a gold strike. I was just repeating a crazy yarn of Hoss's.
It wasn't no crazy yarn, Roy.
Little men in green suits? Hoss, you must have got a hold of some bad whiskey.
Roy, I'm sorry.
No. Just a minute, gentlemen. Now, please. It's a very charming story, and I'd like to hear a little bit more about it, if I may. Why don't we all refresh ourselves while we talk about it? The drinks are on me, gentlemen.
Hey.
Won't you step up here, sir? Bartender, a couple of drinks here, please.
Hoss ought to give an eye tooth to see out there fumbling around after them little green men you dreamed up.
That burn it, Roy. I didn't dream them up. I seen them.
Of course you would. Now, gentlemen, please. What's the matter? In my country, it's very bad luck to laugh at the little people.
Where do you come from?
Ireland.
Oh, excuse me, Professor McCarthy. This is Hoss Cartwright.
Oh, Mr. Cartwright, it's a great pleasure and an honor to meet such a fortunate man.
Yeah?
Well, only once in a lifetime, and maybe not even then, is a man privileged to meet another man who has actually seen a leprechaun.
A what?
Oh, yes, well, of course, you wouldn't know about those, would you? Well, they're a darling little bunch of rascals, all dressed in their green suits.
But are you sure these little fellers I seen are...
Leprechauns? Of course I am. Everything fits. Now, it's a very well-known fact that every colony of leprechauns has a buried treasure of gold. But to a leprechaun, freedom is much more precious than all the gold in the world. That's why, if you had caught one, he would have bought his release just like that by giving you all of his gold.
I ain't for sure I understand exactly what you're trying to tell me.
Oh, it's quite simple. Had you actually caught one of these little fellows, he would have given you all of his gold, and it would have been yours to keep. But since you didn't, well, it was perfectly all right for him to come after you and reclaim his treasure.
Well, I never heard anything like that.
Oh, well, that's a very commonplace thing in Ireland. It happens all the time. Although I must say this is the very first instance I've ever heard of it happening in this country.
Hoss, this fella's pulling our legs.
Wouldn't be too sure of that, Roy. You thought I was, but I seen him.
Of course you did. And had you caught one of them, 'tis a far richer man you'd be today.
Yeah, that was quite a pile of gold at that.
Hoss, you figure them little fellas still running around loose out there?
I reckon so. I reckon there's any way of knowing. Hey, where you going?
I think I know where he's going.
Hey! Wait a minute! Hey, what's going on around here? Wait a minute! Boss! You come back here now. What's going on here? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to run into you. Oh, I gotta hurry. Wait a minute! Where do you gotta hurry to? Oh, I gotta go keep them claim jumpers from getting our gold. Of course we do. Of course we do. Oh, I gotta hurry.
I know you gotta hurry, but let's hurry very slowly, shall we? Let's just be calm. Just because what the whole thing. Boss! Let's go inside and get out of this hot sun.
Oh, I gotta get a range.
Instead, I'd like to have it meet Mr. McCarthy. This is Hoss's Pa.
Oh, himself, is it? Well, 'tis a proud father you should be this day, sir.
Hey, Paul, this gentleman knows everything he has to know about them leprechauns. I'm gonna get a horse. Horse! 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 Will somebody tell me what's going on around here?
Leprechaun,
I just don't believe it.
Here, leprechaun.
Leprechaun, leprechaun, leprechaun. Ooh. Leprechaun.
Those people taking leave of their senses?
Want me to run them out, Ben? You got a legal right to run them off your land.
Oh, no, that just cause hard feelings. Oh, let them go. Maybe when they've worn themselves out, they'll come to their senses and see how foolish this whole thing is.
Or they'd find one of those leprechauns and prove to you I ain't been lying.
Oh, so many times do I have to tell you? There's no such thing as a leprechaun. They ain't gonna find any leprechauns. A leprechaun is a mythical creature, like in a storybook, like pixies and elves. What?
Excuse me, Mr. Cartwright, but if those weren't leprechauns your son saw strolling around, exactly what were they?
Well, now, I don't know what they were. But if there are a lot of little men running around there, the more hunters we have looking for them, the quicker we'll find them. And the sooner we get this cleared up, the better for all of us.
Right. Well, if that's the way you feel about it, I suppose you won't mind if I take a little look around myself, will you?
No, I'll talk, Professor. Look around all you want to.
Thank you.
I believe I'll poke around a little, too, if it's all right with you, Ben.
Why not? Good hunting.
Here, leprechaun. Oh, what about me? I'd sort of...
Now, look, Hoss. Maybe them people down there have all that time to waste. Looking for gold. But we got work to do, so let's go back and do it.
Paul, wait. It ain't the gold. It's them little men, Paul. I gotta find them if they're down there. I got to prove to you and them other people that I ain't lying, and to prove to myself I ain't crazy. Paul, it's very important to me.
All right, Hoss. Get it out of your system. But on one condition. After all this is over, and you don't find anybody, we won't ever mention it again. Ever. Right?
Right. Yeah. Here, leprechaun.
Leprechauns. Yeah.
Sounds like he's coming right over there.
Leprechaun. Leprechaun. Ah! Oh, you dang near scared the dickens out of me.
Charlie, look, if you're going to catch one of them little boogers, you're going to have to pay more attention to what you're doing. Quit running around so dang much.
Upstairs running back there.
Charlie! That's Roy and the professor.
What are you trying to do with that thing? You're going to hurt somebody with that.
Excuse me, Sheriff. I reckon I'm a mite jumpy with all the excitement.
Well, now, tell me, has anyone seen anything yet?
Nary a sign. Most of them done give up and went home. And they're a mite peeved at you, Hoss. They figure that you made up the whole story all along.
Well, I tell you what, gentlemen, why don't we give it up for the day? I'm so tired I can't stir another step.
Well, there's still about an hour of sunshine left. I reckon I'll stick with it a while. Now, y'all holler if you see anything.
Ooh. Ooh.
I got me one, Charlie. I got me one.
You lop-eared jackass, it's me that you got.
Well, I better be getting back to town. You want to come with me, Professor?
Of course I want to come with you. Come on.
Coming, Hoss?
No, thank you, Roy. I think I'll mosey around out here for a spell more. Ain't nobody searched out that little creek bottom yet.
You know, I feel kind of guilty tramping around out here. Sure hope it's peaceful back in town.
Oh, now, don't you worry, Sheriff. After all, you were only doing your duty, weren't you? Seeing to that the mob didn't get out of hand, that things were kept orderly, hmm?
You get the greatest talent for explaining things. It makes them come out sounding just right.
Well, it's all in the way a man looks at things, I always say. Hmm?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Huh?
Did you see something?
No, I just thought I did. Just a rabbit, perhaps. Just thinking, though, you know, it seems such a shame, you know, such a terrible pity for me to be going off and leaving poor Mr. Hoss here, when, after all, it was myself here that instigated this hunt. No, I think I'd better stay here with him. Because if I don't, my conscience will never give me one moment's rest.
Oh, well, you suit yourself about that, but I better be getting back. You sure you can find your way?
Oh, of course, of course. Look, we McCarthys were born with an uncanny sense of direction.
I'll see you in town then.
To be sure, to be sure. All right, now, lads, you can come out. Well, come on out. I know you're here. Come on out, lads. You've led me in a merry chase up to now. Your old friend, but it's all over, so come on out.
Good work, men. Michael, you and Bobby go get the wagon and meet us at the camp. Sean, you find a good tall tree and keep a lookout. Artie, you help me tie him up.
Well, it's the first time I ever knew Hoss to miss a meal. Yeah, should have been home by now.
You want me to go out and take a look for him?
That's a good idea. This, Professor McCarthy, just what is he a professor of?
Adam, I don't know the slightest thing about him. But I have a strong suspicion that he's tied up with this whole thing in some way.
Where are you?
I'm over here.
Now, don't you run away.
Oh, I won't. Pa sent me to bring you home to supper.
Burn it. Dad, burn your ornery hide, little brother. Wait till I get my hand. Oh, you. Bernard, I reckon you think that's pretty funny, huh?
Don't hit me. Peekaboo.
Burn your ornery.
I can't stand it.
Hey, Joe, you see him, don't you? You see him, don't you, Joe?
Yeah.
Wait till Adam sees him. I can't wait to see him smashing on his face. We got him! We got him!
Hey, wait a minute. You ain't got him yet. He's on those little branches out there. They're not gonna hold our kind of weight.
Yeah, how we gonna get him down? Hey, I'll shake the tree.
Hey,
I'll shake him.
don't do that. You're gonna kill him. Look how little he is.
Hey, up there. You savvy English?
Woo-hoo-wee.
I don't reckon he does. I don't understand none of that leprechaun neither. How we gonna get him down?
No. Listen, I'm gonna go get Pa and Adam, and I'll bring him here. You keep an eye on him.
Good idea. Hurry.
Hey, now keep an eye on him. Don't let him out of your sight. Hey, you keep one.
Yeah, ain't they cute? Look at him. I told you.
I think I have a systematic schedule here that'll let us replace the whole 56 miles of fence over the next few years without having to Well, what's wrong?
Look, you go out and saddle a couple of horses, and I'll fill some lanterns, and I'll just feel better going out looking for those two.
I know, Hoss. I think you're right.
Hey, Paul, Adam! Adam, Paul, where are you? Hey, Paul, Adam! Paul, Paul, we got one. We got one. We got one up a tree. One of those little men. One of those little men. Now, I know what you think, but I saw him with my own eyes, Adam. I saw him. Horse has got him back up there, and he's keeping him for us. Now, come on. He's up in a tree in this clearing.
Well, this had better be good.
All right, Adam. See for yourself.
See what?
Paul, I'm telling you, those little men is coming at me from every direction. It's coming out of the trees, out of the bushes, up out of the ground. Paul, this place is crawling with them little green men. It's coming at me from up, down, sideways, everywhere, Paul. You ain't never seen nothing like it.
I saw one of them, Pa.
Where's Professor McCarthy?
Oh, he rode back to town with Roy Coffee.
Well, he couldn't have. We just saw his horse tied up down there.
Hey, there's something mighty funny going on around here.
I knew it would come to him sooner or later. You just have to give him time, you know.
Will you two fellas go and see if you can find the professor?
Hey, Professor! McCarthy! Professor? Professor? Hey, Joe! Pa! Hoss! Come on here, I got something!
Hey, ain't that the professor's hat and cane?
Hey, that couldn't be our horses. We left them tied back there.
Sounds like it came from that draw over there.
Maybe we can surprise whoever's in there. Pin him in.
What'd I tell you, Paul? See? Little green men, just like I told you. Adam, you smart aleck. Now what do you say? See him?
I saw one of them, too.
Now we know where the gold dust came from.
Just in time. Oh. Well, they're starting to break up camp. We gotta stop them. Spread out. Now, wait till I get my signal. right, boys. Let's get him.
Okay, we give up.
Don't you trust him, Paul. You must tie him up.
Well, I don't think that'll be necessary. Gentlemen, I'll take over from here. Ah, Timothy, how are you?
Hello, McCarthy.
Oh, you can't explain what this is about?
Why, I'd be delighted to. Gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you McCarthy's leprechauns. They sing, they dance, and as you've seen, they're daring and accomplished acrobats. They have performed before all the crowned heads of Europe. They're the toast of 2 continents.
You're performers? You're in a show?
Oh, and I must apologize for the lads' behavior just a few minutes ago. They were, well, a little annoyed because they thought that you were going to steal their gold again.
Now, just a dang minute.
Just a minute now. What was the point of filling everybody's heads with all those wild stories about leprechauns and buried treasure?
I was merely trying to help the lads. After all, I didn't know that they'd come by the gold legally. The last time I had seen them was in Kansas, where our show was disbanded because of financial difficulties.
Yeah, and you cheated us out of all our savings, the money we were going to buy the farm with. And our families are still back east waiting for us to send for them. That's why we began panning for gold. We were broke.
Oh, come on, Timothy. After all, everything has turned out fine, hasn't it? And with the gold from our little... your little enterprise here, we can fashion the most magnificent show this world has ever seen. And think of it, lads. Just think of it. You're going to be the stars.
Now, hold on there, McCarthy. There's something I think you ought to know. You're on Ponderosa land.
I don't think I quite understand.
Well, let me explain. You see, the gold that your little friends here have been panning, they panned on our land. So the gold isn't theirs or yours.
We didn't know that. Honest, we didn't. We thought it was open land.
Well, now this it's a different complexion of things altogether. Yes, well, we'll have to attack this problem from another angle, I can see. Gentlemen? All right now, lads. Since we've got the gold, let's be off.
No, McCarthy. We won't steal for you. The gold belongs to these people, not us.
Come on now, Timothy. After all, you've only got one of 2 choices. A simple little bit of larceny or bloodshed. And I imagine that you'll choose the former, eh? Good. I thought you'd see it my way. Gentlemen, would you step over here, please? Good. Thank you. Thank you for your hospitality, gentlemen. Thank you. Now it is with a great deal of sorrow that I bid you...
I'm sorry, McCarthy. Don't be too hard on him, mister.
Bring him along.
Well, Mr. McCarthy, you can thank the Cartwrights here for not bringing charges against you. And once you're on that stagecoach, I want that to be the last time the Virginia City ever sees you.
The old refrain, eh, lads? Mr. Haas, I understand congratulations are in order, huh? All the gold goes to you, I'm told. As the old saying has it, them that has gets.
Well, I'm afraid not this time, Mr. McCarthy. We figured on giving the gold back to these fellers.
You what?
Yeah, we figured that they got more of a right to it than we have.
Well, I'd like to hear how you decided that.
Well, Roy, where'd that gold come from in the first place? Up in the high mountains, right? Now, they ain't on the Ponderosa. I figure if these fellers hadn't panned that gold out, it'd have gone right on out to sea and nobody'd have benefited from it.
But they were standing on your land while I was doing the panning.
That don't make no difference, Roy. That gold never did belong to the Ponderosa in the first place. I figure it was just sort of passing through.
What a charming idea.
Hoss, by all legal rights.
Roy, I think what Hoss is trying to say is that regardless of who has a right to the gold, he feels that the gold should go to where there's the most need for it. And this way, that gold will help 5 new families get started on a new life.
Oh, I don't know what to say.
The only thing I wanted to do in the first place was just prove that I didn't dream you little fellers up.
I don't suppose that you gentlemen would like to come along with me, eh?
No, Professor, I'm sorry. We just don't want to be performers.
I didn't suppose you would.
We just don't like being laughed at all the time.
Laughed at? Well, now, listen to me, lads, listen. None of us in the show ever laughed at you. But those people outside there, they'll laugh at you. Oh, it's a very beautiful dream you have, settling down with your loved ones, farming your own land, leading normal lives. The only question is, will they let you?
Stagecoach is here, Mr. McCarthy. Let's go. Howdy, folks. Excuse me, please.
There they are. What are they? They're the funniest little critters I ever did see.
Maybe the professor's right. Maybe we shouldn't try to live out among other people. Maybe we just don't belong.
Now, wait a minute. Just hold your horses a minute. Don't you go selling those folks short out there. Don't you see, you're making the same mistake they're making. You're judging them before you even know them. Now, come on. You're going to go out there and meet these folks right now. Come on. Folks, I'd like for all of you to move down here. I got something I want to say to you. Concerns every one of you, and I want you to hear it. Come on out. Now, folks, I know that because all of you turned out and are raising such a ruckus over our newcomers, that you're just chomping at the bits to meet them, ain't you?
Hey, Hoss, be careful you don't step on one of them little fellers. You might squash him.
Charlie, you be careful you don't get stepped on a little bit. Now, folks, I know that none of you would purposely or mean to hurt anybody's feelings. But Timothy here and the others feel like that they ain't welcome here. They think you're making fun of them because you don't want them around. Of course, you noticed that they're different from you. They're a whole lot littler. Well, there's a funny thing. You see, I noticed the same thing about you. Now, these fellas are here for the same reason most of us are. That's to help settle our town, make it grow. Raise their families. They're planning on building their homes here, working their crops, being good neighbors.
Now, in the past, we've always welcomed folks like that. And I don't see no reason we should treat these fellas any different. You, Mr. Lucas, you're the banker. You ought to be happy to see new investors in the town. Their money is just as big as mine. And you, Darrell Gillespie, it ought to tickle you to death to find prospective buyers for that bottomland you've been trying to sell. And that ain't all. They're going to need tools to work that land with and to build their homes. We got 5 brand new families here in Virginia City. It's going to raise their young'uns. They're going to buy clothes and buy food and get haircuts and get their teeth fixed, buying seeds and supporting the church. I figure every one of us is going to benefit from their being here. I think we ought to give them a great, big, rousing Virginia City welcome.
Shucks, Hoss. We wasn't making any more fun of them than we do of you for being so big.
Dorsel's right, Hoss. I reckon they're as welcome here as any of us. Probably more welcome than some of us.
Must be something in the air.
Yep. Something real nice.
And we're going to have a toast to our little friend.
Wait, don't forget our friend Hoss.
Hey, fellers, wait a minute, fellers.
There ain't enough of us, Hoss. Come along on your own power.
Son of a gun, how are you?
You old hindbiter, how are you? Just fine. I thought you were going to give up by default.
Oh, you know me better than that.
I guess I do.
No, I figured I had plenty of time when my informant told me that the bidding was down to just you and me.
Your informant? You mean your spy?
Well, sometimes that works out pretty good. I remember once taking a contract for 3 ships away from you through the aid of a spy.
Yeah.
She was a redhead, wasn't she?
Yeah. Well, that was a long time ago. I was a little younger then.
We've had some pretty good tussles through the years, Ben.
Yeah, sure have. Never had a dull one.
No, and there never will be. And I'll buy a drink to that no matter who gets this contract.
All right, I'll take you up on it. Shall we go in and find out the bad news?
After you, Ben.
The lost has been found, gentlemen.
Mr. Fuller, we've all been waiting for you. Now we can get down to business. Gentlemen, Mr. Fuller, Mr. Cartwright.
Gentlemen.
Well, this is it, gentlemen. The way it'll look when it's up. It'll take a lot of lumber, and we'll need it fast. Of course, we'll expect the contracting company to put up the usual guarantees that they can handle it. The sooner east and west are connected by rail, better for the whole country. It's a big, important contract. Frankly, we had a very difficult time deciding between you two gentlemen. Although there is a contract for some more material.
Speaking for my boys and myself, I think we consider it a privilege just to be part of this project. Any part.
Well, I'm afraid I'm not as gracious as Mr. Cartwright. I'm after the trestle, not the tailing.
Mr. Fuller, I'm sorry, but the contract's been awarded to Mr. Cartwright. You'll furnish lumber for rail cars and ties, but Ben Cartwright has got the trestle. I'll have the contracts and the specifications drawn up by this evening. Congratulations.
Thank you. Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you very much. Barney, I hope you're not too disappointed.
Are you sympathizing with me, Ben?
Oh.
Gentlemen, I have a healthy stand of timber just waiting for the saw. If anything happens to Mr. Cartwright, the railroad can depend on me to finish the trestle.
Hey, Barney. You're not forgetting about our drink, are you?
Oh, no. No, of course not.
You're sure a gracious loser, Mr. Fuller.
He sure is, but I wouldn't trust him farther than I could throw him.
Mr. Cartwright. Fella brought this up from the railroad for you. Oh, can I get you something to drink, Mr. Cartwright?
Oh, no, thank you. Well, isn't this fine? Railroad's added some extra crews, and now they want 200 of those big pilings by Monday. And 50 a day from then on.
Oh, the 50 I can guarantee, but 200 by Monday? You ain't got the crew or the teams to do it with.
I'll see if I can get some extra men from the mines, and I'll get some teams in town. Oh, by the way, Adam, I noticed some of your trimmers nipping at the bottle on the job. I want you to put a stop to that before some of them find themselves without hands and feet.
Well, I've done the best I can. If a man wants to drink, that's his business. I can't be every place at once.
The man in charge of a crew is responsible for everything connected with it. We've got a rough schedule. I want results. Now we really got a rough schedule ahead of us. I know you boys are tired already.
We sure are that.
You know you'd like to have a few days rest.
Hey, gee, thanks, Pa.
That's all right. You got it coming to you.
That sounds great.
Yeah, well, like I said, you got it coming to you after the job is done.
What color's the sky, Mr. Cartwright? I said, what color's the sky?
Blue.
You didn't look up when you said it. You just guessed. How long has it been since you looked up?
You better get back to sharpening those blades, Gabe. We'll need them all in the morning.
They'll be ready when they need them. You ever hear of the fellow who couldn't see the forest for the trees? Got himself so lost, he never did get out. Now, if he had taken it kind of slow and easy and kept his head up instead of down, he might have got a glimpse of the sun, or he might have followed the wild geese into the clear, instead of working himself to a razzle like you're doing.
I'm doing all right, Gabe.
I like the way you get things done, Mr. Cartwright, but a man's got to ease up once in a while. You know, just stop. Take time to give thanks for the blessing of just being alive. If he don't, he's liable to have an epitaph on his tombstone that reads, "Here lies a man who let the joy of living wait. He waited too long. Now it's too late."
Well, thanks for the warning, Gabe. I've always worked pretty hard, and I guess I always will.
Hello, son. Martha, come on. Let me help you down here. There. This is my grandson, Mr. Cartwright. Jody, say howdy to Mr. Cartwright.
Howdy, Mr. Cartwright.
Howdy, Jody.
This is my daughter, Martha. Married, name's Fletcher.
Miss Fletcher, got a fine-looking boy here.
Thank you very much.
I didn't think you'd mind Martha driving him over here once in a while to visit with his grandpa.
Oh, well, just as long as he keeps out of harm's way.
Oh, he'll take care of himself all right. He learned his lesson when he saw his pa kill himself trying to break a spooky horse. It's a terrible loss to all of us.
Yeah, well, why don't you show Jody the flume, Gabe?
Sure, I'll do that. Come on, Jody. Hey, did I ever tell you the time I went around the horn in the schooner?
I sorry to hear about your husband, Mr. Fletcher. You know, Gabe and I don't think alike about too many things. I'm awfully glad that your boy has such a fine man as his grandfather to look up to and love.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Cartwright.
You bring your boy around anytime you want to. Perfectly welcome.
Thank you.
Get me those extra teams.
Man, I'm telling you, Ben, I ain't got any extra teams
Now, look,
anymore.
you had plenty last week.
What am I supposed to do? Feed them hay burners waiting for you to need more horses? No, sir. I got an offer. I rented them.
Well, then get them back.
Oh, come on, Ben.
Well, I'll get them back. Who's got them?
Barney Fuller. His money's as good as anybody's. Now, why don't you speak to him? Make a deal.
That'll be the day.
See you around, Ben.
In case you didn't hear me, I said that'll be the day.
I don't know what you mean, Ben.
Look, Barney, if you come here to gloat, I haven't got the time.
Oh, on the contrary. My spies tell me the railroad's got the ties laid within a couple of miles of the trestle. But the men are sitting around idle, waiting for the pilings. I just hope you don't have to pay an expensive penalty because you had a little hard luck with your delivery.
You'd love it.
Oh, no. What I'm trying to say is, if it'll be of any help, I can let you have a little of my own timber.
Now, you listen to me, Barney, and you listen good. I wouldn't take one softwood sapling out of your stand. Now, that trestle's going to be built. But it's going to be built with ponderosa lumber.
Well, I hope you're right. But, Ben, just remember one thing. You can always depend on Barney Fuller to help a friend.
Well, if I ever find a friend of Barney Fuller's, I'll tell him. Adam? What's holding up those pilings? They should have been out of here long ago.
There's a cracked block in the rigging. Hoss is working on it.
Oh, fine. That's all I need. We better get down to the trestle and pacify those railroad men. You tell them that every log they need will be down to that site tomorrow at dawn if it takes every available man and team in the country. Oh, what's going on here? A Sunday school picnic? Now, why isn't that block fixed?
Well, there ain't no way to fix it. It's got to be replaced. I got another on the way.
On the way from where? We got plenty of those in the storeroom.
No, we ain't, Paul. They ain't done...
Gabe! All right, Gabe, Horse tells me we have no more double blocks. How's that?
I plumb forgot to stock them.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but I sent a man into town for some, and they should be here in about an hour.
About an hour. And how long have you been fooling around with that?
About an hour.
That makes 2 hours lost. All right, Horse, you listen to me. I want all these logs on the logging road and on their way by nightfall. I don't want any excuses. I just want them at the trestle by morning.
Paul, that block ain't safe. It might come apart any time.
It might, and it might not. We'll never know until we try and find out. We're going to try. Now, you listen to me. I heard Barney Fuller tell me that I'm in trouble. And I just heard you tell me why I'm in trouble. What appears to me the only trouble that I'm in is trying to make you understand that I made a promise to the railroad and I intend for us all to live up to it. Now, is that clear?
Clear enough, Paul. Come on, fellas.
Hey, that air sure smells good, don't it? Why don't you get the scent of that pine in your lungs? You know, it's just like a tonic.
Now, Gabe, I got 100 things on my mind. Leave me be.
Oh, Jose, I got something for you. I plumb forgot it. It's a little horse. Joey whittled it for you. Of course, I helped him some, but I don't want you to tell him about that when you see him. He wanted you to have it.
All right. Just say thank you to Jody for me.
Yes, I will, Mr. Cartwright.
Boss, that block just ain't gonna hold.
Just get it rigged up. Get that team hooked up over there, Pete.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Keep out from under that block.
All right, now, snap to it. Come on, now, what's holding everything up here?
Charlie, get out from under the block.
Bunch of Sunday school
We gotta
kids
be
here.
careful
Give me
of that
guide
block,
road.
Paul.
What?
We gotta be careful of that block.
Well, we'll be careful over here. I'll guide it. Now, get those horses moving. Come on. Get those horses moving. Let's go.
Gabe, bring me a cat hook.
Coming right up, Bill.
Come on, get that moving. Up we go. All right, then. Now, swing around.
Here you go, Bill.
Swing it.
It's going, Paul.
Ah! Gabe!
Paul!
Seabird, Gabe.
Let's go. Get him.
How's Gabe? How's Gabe?
You're dead, Paul.
That painful, Ben?
No, just a little stiff.
Well, that'll clear up as soon as the leg has some use. And there'll hardly be any scarring as soon as those lacerations heal. Now, Ben, you're going to heal a lot quicker without the use of that cane.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Hi, boys.
Doc, how's Paul?
Not so good, I'm afraid. He needs more help than I can give him.
What's the matter? Complications with the leg?
No, I don't think he'll even have a scar.
Well, what is it then, Doc?
Well, the scar that worries me is in here. Your father's not over the shock of old Gabe's death. He feels responsible. He broods on it.
Yeah, we've noticed that. Anything we can do?
Get him back to work as soon as possible. Get his mind off of that accident.
Well, we need him back on the job, that's for sure.
Good, that's what he needs. I'll see you, boys. Adios.
So long, Doc.
Well, I thought I told you two to stay out on the hog back and... All right, what's wrong?
Plenty. No teams.
All right, where are they?
Watch Wrangler said he got word from town to pull out.
And you let him go?
Well, how was I supposed to stop him, Adam, with a gun?
No, I just want you two to hold up your end of the job like I'm holding up mine.
Look, Adam, if you were the real walking boss around here like you're supposed to be, you'd have known about those teams before we did.
Oh, would you like to take over?
No, I wouldn't. Dad Bennett, I wish our poet would come back and do his job so we could do our own.
All right, let's ride into town and find out what this is all about.
Business always comes first with me, Adam. And when a man is offered a sizable boost in his rates, he can't let friendship stand in his way.
Well, now, let's just forget about friendship. You made an agreement with my father to furnish the teams for this job.
That's correct. The gentleman's agreement. With your father, not with his sons.
You had no right pulling out without giving proper notice.
I tried, Adam, I tried. I would have rode out to see Ben myself if I didn't have this misery in my back. But I sent word for him to come and see me and talk about a renegotiation of our little agreement. But your old man didn't even have the gumption to answer back, so what?
We want them horses.
I'd be happy to oblige, Hoss, if I could, but that Belgium Holland stock is hard to come by, and every one of my horses is spoke for elsewhere.
Where?
Well, they gone to Barney Fuller.
Well, the Cartwright boys. I'd like to buy you all a drink. You know my ramrod, Jesse Wade. A couple of my hands, Tom, Jake, Chris.
We want those teams back, Fuller.
You know, I've been meaning to come out to see your father. Most unfortunate thing. Men getting hurt. Delivery schedules all fouled up. Well, accidents will happen, I guess. Pull up a chair. Sit down. Now, what was this about some teams?
Fuller, I want the teams back at the Bonanza by tomorrow morning.
Or you'll do what, young fella? Send a sheriff and his posse out after him? I've got legal right to them teams.
I'm not interested in your rights. I'm more interested in your reason.
Tomorrow I start to log from my own stand for the Humboldt Canyon Trestle.
Whose decision was that? The railroad's or your own, Mr. Fuller?
I told your pa that if the railroad got in trouble and the Cartwrights started to drag their feet, they could call on me. And it looks like the Cartwrights are starting to drag their feet.
My father made an agreement to deliver Ponderosa lumber to that trestle. Now, you're not using those teams, so what are your terms for releasing them?
There are no terms. And I only talk to the head man.
Well, now you're talking to us.
He's through talking to you. You boys go bawl to your big, powerful daddy. Maybe he's got better ways than you have of begging Mr. Fuller to get him off the hook.
Well, it's quite a show you put on. And that's all it was. Just a show. You'll find out that it takes more than a fist fight to get along in the business your father and I are in. And when you get home, tell your father the next time he wants to talk to Mr. Fuller, not to send a boy to do a man's job. Adam, the doc tells me your dad's leg is all healed up. Why did he send you instead of coming himself?
It's none of your business.
Bonnie's up to his old tricks, huh? Well, you're gonna have to watch out for him. He's always in there trying.
Well, what do you want us to do about Fuller?
Do whatever you want.
You don't care, is that it?
Joe, I think I've cared too much all my life about the wrong things. Couldn't see the forest for the trees. Maybe it's not too late to change.
Paul, it's such a waste. You're right in the prime of life.
And just to throw it away?
Not throwing it away. Just want to change my life before it's too late. This ranch was always planned for you three anyways. Good time for you to take over.
Pa, that ain't what I meant.
What did you mean?
Pa, what horseman is it? Is it we need you with us, Pa?
Well, I think you have to start seeing things my way.
Well, we can't see it your way because this isn't your way. It's puttering around, a lot of small talk. That's Gabe's way.
Leave him out of this.
For Ben Cartwright.
This come for you, Mr. Cartwright.
She sent it back.
She say why?
No. She didn't have to.
Hey, well, buddy, what you got here?
This is Fort Fletcher, the new cavalry outpost for the protection of the settlers.
Yeah? Well, I reckon we can use another fort around here, Joey.
Hey, mister, you know my name. What's yours?
Hoss Cartwright. Is your ma home?
She's inside. Ma! Ma!
What is it, Jody? Oh,
Ma'am, I'd like to talk to you a minute if I could.
run along, Jody.
Sure, Mom.
Well, what did you want to say, Mr. Cartwright?
Well, ma'am, it's about our pa. Well, he's been blaming himself for your father's death.
Well, he mustn't do that. It was an accident.
Our pa don't believe it. We sort of hoping maybe if you'd come out and talk to him, you being Gabe's daughter and all, that maybe maybe it'd be more important that way and be of more help.
Well, I'll think about it, Mr. Cartwright.
Thank you, ma'am. Anything you can do, we'll appreciate it. Thank you, little buddy.
Did your pa get the horse I caught for him?
He sure did.
You tell your pa if he likes it, I'll make him another one so he'll have a matched pair.
Fine. I'll tell him. Thank you, little buddy.
Find this in woodshed, Mr. Cartwright. For you. For making pretty things. Not good you sit here all the time. You ready to eat, Mr. Cartwright?
No, thank you.
When you hungry, you just holler.
Didn't mean to get you out of bed, Ben. Mind if I come in?
Huh?
How do you feel, Ben?
Oh, I feel pretty good, Barney. Sit down.
You know, Ben, I've been worried about you.
Huh?
I mean it. We've had a few battles throughout the years, but there's never been anything personal. You know that.
Yeah, I know.
Your boys were in town to see me yesterday. Suppose you know?
Yeah.
Did they tell you what I told them?
Yeah, they told me.
What I especially told them was to tell you not to send boys to do a man's job.
Now, Barney, don't go underestimating those boys. They're better than I ever was.
Is that so?
Sorry I can't say the same about you. I didn't think you pulled that kind of trick.
I cut my cloth to fit the size of the people I'm up against.
You're making a mistake, Barney.
Is that so? That is, unless you've been giving them the benefit of your advice.
No. They're handling things their own way.
Why? Big Ben Cartwright getting tired? Abdicating? I find that hard to believe even on your say-so.
Barney, I don't care what you believe. And I ain't jumping when you throw that hickory club of yours at a bound wheel.
So I'm beginning to see. That sort of clears things up for me. You know, Ben, I've always admired this house. Maybe someday I'll see my way clear to buy it. You know, I have no respect for a man that don't measure up. I can't afford to waste my time on him. If he just stands there, I walk right over him. The Ben Cartwright I know wouldn't hold still for that. But you don't act like him. Takes all the fun out of this business when you got nobody to stand up to you. Go back to bed, Ben.
What are you doing with those horses?
Taking them up to the camp.
What for?
Hauling logs.
Oh, Joe, the saddle horses, you know better than...
Yeah, Pa, I know better. But when you haven't got anything else, you make do with what you've got.
Watch had never been allowed to get away with taking our teams.
Watts got away with that because...
Because?
Look, Pa, you made it quite clear you're not interested whether that trestle gets finished or not. You're not interested in that or in anything else. All right, fine. It took us a little while to get used to that, but now we are, and we're going to take care of everything by ourselves. We'll give you plenty of time to do whatever it is you want to do. Now, we don't ask any questions of you, Pa. I think it'd be just fair if you didn't ask any questions of us.
Oh.
Fletcher? Miss Fletcher.
How do you do, Mr. Cartwright? I was just passing and...
Well, I'm so glad. Please come in. I'll have Hop Sing make us some tea.
Oh, no, thank you. I can't stay long. I left Jody with a neighbor.
Please sit down.
I wasn't just passing, Mr. Cartwright. I came to see you deliberately. Do you know why?
Well, I hope it's because you changed your mind about the money.
No, I haven't changed my mind about that.
I hadn't meant to offend you by it. If I did, I'm sorry. Then I can say.
I wasn't offended.
Well, why did you send it back?
We don't need that kind of help.
Well, then, how will you and your boy get along?
Our livelihood did not depend on my father. I have a small business as a dressmaker in Virginia City. You knew that.
Oh, yes, I did know that.
You sent me that money to ease your conscience, didn't you?
I take full blame for what happened, Mrs. Fletcher.
No, you mustn't do that. It was an accident.
No, it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't been pushing so hard. Your father tried to tell me, but I wouldn't listen.
You're a builder, Mr. Cartwright, a doer. Oh, my father was a dreamer. You built the Ponderosa. He built castles in sand.
Miss Fletcher, it isn't making it any easier for you to try to find excuses for me.
Men die at their work every day, even on their own land, like my husband. No one's to blame.
The fact still remains. I'm responsible for your father's death.
Not any more than I am. I was the one that made him work there. Does that make me responsible? My husband died breaking a horse to support me and my child. Are we guilty of his death? We can't weep forever for our dead, Mr. Cartwright, or for our mistakes. We have to continue to live. Me for Jody, and you for your sons.
You have to hook them up in threes before they can do any real hauling. I'm not sure if they can do it even then.
You have no choice. All right, take them up the logging road.
They're quitting. They want their pay.
But you can't quit, not after we brought the extra teams up here.
I guess this is another one of Barney Fuller's little tricks.
Well, I've tried dogging with them, Adam. You have a go at it.
You know, there's a kind of an unwritten law in the logging business. Nobody quits in the middle of cutting season without good cause. Now, what's the reason, Mike?
It's a matter of conditions.
What conditions?
Your pa was bull of the woods in this camp when we first came in. Now it looks like he's not going to come back. And likely won't need us again after the cutting's finished. If it is.
Maybe there's something I didn't think was necessary to tell you. I'm bull of the woods here. And it really doesn't matter whether my father comes back or not. Whatever you think his job was, it's mine now. Are any of you man enough to prove me wrong? Any one of you?
No. This is going to be interesting, Joe. Let's sit down and watch it. No, not me, him. He's the bull of the woods. Get him. He ain't bad.
Does that answer your question, man? All of you working here, you can go right on working. If you want to quit, you can quit. But whether you quit or whether you continue to work, I just want you to know that the Ponderosa will continue to operate, no matter who tries to stop it.
Okay, fellas, let's go back to work.
Good to see you, Pa.
Now, what's the next move, Adam?
Get the teams back.
Oh, would you do me a favor? Would you mind if I did that alone?
to you, Ben. I sent word to you. I would have come up myself, but I had this ache in my back, you see, and I couldn't make it. Oh, come on, Ben, cut right. No call to push me around. Because I told you I sent word for you to come and see me about this.
Well, I'm here so we can get them teams right now.
But I can't get them together.
Well, we'll get as many as we can, and we'll get the rest later.
But, Ben!
Now, listen to me, you. What you did was no better than horse stealing.
Horse stealing?
Horse stealing.
But they're my own animals.
Well, I'm wrecking them. Get them!
Well, Ben, what are you doing out of bed? And without a cane?
Well, why don't you come down from under that geranium pot, and I'll tell you.
No, I don't want to see you standing out here. Come on inside. Sit down.
You come down here. Here's what I want to tell you, Barney. We still got that trestle contract. We're gonna pay whatever penalty we have to for the delay I caused. But just remember this. It's gonna be a Ponderosa trestle. And if these timber wolves of yours get in the way, well, we'll just have to cut them down the way we cut down our trees.
Put that away, Jesse. You know, I guess I figured wrong. I was plumb sure you'd lost your guts. What happened?
Somebody taught me an angle.
What angle?
That a man can't really go against his true nature.
It's a pretty good angle.
Yeah. I learned it from a friend.
Oh, oh. Here you are, Ben. All I can dig up for the present.
Step aside, boy. I said, step aside, boy. Thank you, what?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Welcome home, Ben.
Well, there it is. Most beautiful trestle in the world.
And there was a day when I thought we'd never see it.
There was a time when I didn't care if I ever did or not.
We knew better than that, Pop.
Hey, Paul, what about that little rest you promised us?
Oh, yeah. Well, that depends.
On what?
On the bull of the woods. Moo.
Bull said yeah, Pop.